Russ Sandlin, Del Rugby, the Golden Rule, and my 5.5-year-old son David. He turns 6 tomorrow, actually. So I'm here traveling from Ticos to General Santos, and as promised, it's a little bumpy, sorry. I'm going to be giving a bunch of really good content again for you. I didn't do any videos for 6 months, as you all know. I was in that video making mode for a while, and they demonetized. So I need your help, all of you. Please smash the like button. Please like and share this to everybody so I can get the great messages I have out. It's talking about precious metals. It's talking about having financial stability if you're in the U.S. with good credit. If you're an expat finances. And I'm also talking about how to make money in the BPO industry, which I am a real big fan of. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about keeping your expat finances all squared away. There are 9 million Americans living and working offshore. There's 3 things that I need all of you to do as an expat. I'm going to elaborate further on this in future videos. But there's 3 things if you're one of those 9 million Americans. The first thing you need to do, if you're an expat who's also a veteran, don't be like me. Don't procrastinate. Get to DD-214. DD-214 is easy to get. It's your military records because you're entitled to a lot of military benefits. For instance, you can buy a house in the U.S. with 0 down without mortgage insurance if you have a veteran's home loan. You should be putting money back in the United States. So get your VA benefits through your DD-214. You can also get a discount on your phones like Verizon. I have Verizon. I got a 10% discount just from having my DD-214. We're talking about the DD-214. So you're getting a lot of good medical benefits. You can also get VA benefits, like going on to the base for the PX if you're like 20-year veteran. I'm not, but if you are PX or to the VA hospitals here in the Philippines or at Al Udeid in Qatar or anywhere in Kuwait, really. So get your DD-214. It's super important. The second thing that I'll be elaborating on in a lot of videos is having your credit fixed. Keeping your credit squared away. Before I went offshore in 2008, I had a fair ISID score of about 800, which is pretty good. Since then, I dropped down to a 400. Why? Somebody knew my social security number and birthday and took out a bunch of credit in my name. I don't have any proof on who it was, but somebody took a lot of credit out of my name, and I've been doing a lot of disputes to try to resolve it. And I'm going to do a whole series on getting your credit repaired. It's a long journey. I'm in the middle of it right now. My credit was down to a 400 with the 3 major credit reporting bureaus, and I'm hopefully I can remember the 3. The one is called TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Thanks to my wife for the reminder. It's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They're all 3 different credit reporting companies, and then there's parent reporting companies that they get their information from. It's really sophisticated, and it's really hard to fix your credit. But I'm going to take you through my journey because I'm halfway through it, and I made a lot of mistakes printing my credit, but I'm still in the middle of it. I'm going to teach you how to do it right based on all my mistakes. But having credit is so important. So when you go back to the U.S. as an expat, you need to have good credit. It's really important. So that if you have a good credit score, you can get a car loan and you'll pay low interest. So we're talking thousands of dollars difference in your life every month. If you have bad credit, you're going to be paying a lot more for everything. The third thing that's super important, and this will probably be the number 1 thing. When you're working offshore as an American, did you know that all Americans had to file taxes no matter where they are? There are some benefits. You can pay a little bit less when you're offshore. There are in some cases, if you're paying tax elsewhere, you'll get that tax credit. In other cases, you can write off some of the tax if you're overseas for over a year consecutively. But you need to file. There's 2 things you have to file every year, no matter what. You have to do FBARs for the Treasury. I don't remember what FBAR stands for, but I'll do a whole video on that later. And you had to do your FATCA. FATCA is basically, if you have a bank account offshore and it ever crosses, all of your banks ever cross more than $10,000 over a year, you had to file. And if you don't, the fines from the U.S. government can range up to $50,000 per instance. I owed $250,000, $245,000 to the IRS. I fought and I lost. It took me years and years to catch it up. So take it from me, the IRS does not mess around. And you don't want to have that over your shoulders, because if you owe the IRS money, they'll take away your passport. I had my passport stolen when I was in Israel and in Tel Aviv bus station. And I was stuck in Israel. I was working in Palestine. And I was stuck there until I got a new passport. And they wouldn't let me get one until I made arrangements with the IRS. So they do not mess around. Especially you gentlemen, if you owe tax money or if you owe child support, catch it up. Because it's going to catch up to you. Catch it up, it's going to catch up to you. You're going to not be able to get a new passport. If you lose your passport, you won't be able to get another one. They'll put you on the next plane back to JFK, and you'll be going straight to jail until you pay the IRS or your back child support. You need to make sure you have a good accountant. I have a good one in New York City now. I've had 2 or 3 bad ones that almost got me in jail. They will throw your butt in jail, and I know so many expats I argue with, they're like, oh no, I don't have to pay, I'm over here. Believe me, you had to pay. Let me tell you what happens. Because of FATCA, every bank outside the United States reports back to the US Treasury what your balance is every month. These views are stunning, by the way. Look out here at the mountains. I just love the Philippines, it's so beautiful. We'll do more videos of the scenery over the next couple days. But I just love it here. These hitchbacks are amazing. So, getting back to FATCA, every bank that I have out of the United States reports every month to the U.S. government how much money I have in it. If I don't file, if I don't report it, the U.S. government has me on a list, and the U.S. government is spending all this money for the IRS to go after us expats, us 9.1 million. They want to come after us and get our money. They already know that we have money. If we don't file, they're going to do fines like you would not believe, up to $50,000 per instance of bank account report. So there's 2 different kinds of reports. There's IRS reports and there's Treasury reports. So believe me, all of you, you must file. Eye of the Tiger. I like this old song. This is my jam. So let's recap, and then we'll call this to a close. I want all of you to like and sub, because I got some great content coming to save you a lot of trouble, Americans living outside the United States. So like and sub, and please watch my videos. I've got to come up with 3,000 hours now to get back into having a monetized account so that other people can see my content. Get your VA benefits. Do your DD-214. Get your credit squared away. Get a Credit Karma, which is hard to do because it's blocked offshore. Use a VPN, get Credit Karma, and monitor your credit every day, because you might have an ex like I do, or several exes, I don't know. You might have somebody who's taking advantage of your credit. 3, make sure you file your taxes. Get a good tax accountant. Don't do it yourself, because you'll mess up like I did. Get a good tax That's all accountant. I got for you today, but stay tuned for more. I got a lot more coming your way. This is Russ Sandlin checking out. Like and sub, and share it with the world.